Alright, before this video starts, I know this isn't a video that my channel typically makes. Usually I do videos about UFC, MMA, and don't really talk about the YouTube side of things as much. But this story is so important that I feel like I need to talk about it because I feel like it pertains to my channel as well. And I'm going to break down why near the end of the video. And I make this video knowing that I'm either going to get slandered by the KSI meat writers or just not get a lot of views because I know a lot of you UFC guys are not going to want to watch this. But I suggest you watch this because this doesn't just pertain to the YouTube space. This is a big deal all around. This is an issue for a lot of people in the world that I think needs to be brought to attention and something that just isn't right. But welcome back to a brand new video, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We talk about boxing, MMA, UFC, sometimes YouTube boxing with Jake Paul and everything. This video was not on the schedule, but once this incident happened, I knew I needed to talk about it. Tomorrow we'll be back with the usual videos, but I'm going to be breaking down this whole KSI and Wade Plem situation and why I think KSI is absolutely abusing his power, as well as his manager, Moms Taylor, which we're going to be talking about as the story goes on. But I know a lot of you guys are not familiar, so I'm going to be breaking down who this guy is, who's KSI, what is Misfits, what's going on. So like I said, if you guys are new, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and let's just get into this. Alright, who is the Wade Concept? The Wade Concept is a channel on YouTube that has been around for a couple years now that is very similar to mine. Like, he covers YouTube boxing, basically how I cover UFC or MMA. And I'm going to talk about this later on in the video, but I do take a lot of inspiration from this guy. And it's no secret that I am a fan of this guy. I've been watching him since about 2020, 2021-ish, and he just makes videos breaking down fights, breaking down videos of Jake Paul training or other YouTube boxers, as well as creating hype for these events. And because of that, he garnered a lot of fans because he has a real talent for explaining boxing to the casual audience, which, let's face it, a lot of the guys that are watching the KSI fights, they're mostly casual viewers. They're not watching pro fights. So it was a really good opportunity for him to educate uneducated fans. And because of this, his channel started to grow. He was getting known in the influencer space. So because of this, KSI and his manager would seek out Wade when trying to create their boxing promotion, Misfits. Alright, so what is Misfits? First, we have to take it back all the way to 2018 when KSI started boxing. He boxed YouTubers like Joe Weller and Logan Paul, and eventually decided to take a long hiatus in 2019, focus on his music career, and in 2022 he started to begin his return, getting in shape and starting a promotion of his own, where on August 27th they would have their first Misfits event. This is a fight where KSI would fight two guys on one night, with the commentating team set to be Keemstar, another guy in the influencer space.
Trouble. Why? Oh shit. That crypto shit.
True Jordy, whose channel mixes boxing and YouTube boxing pretty well, and no other than Wade himself. But Wade would return on a lot of events, basically on every Misfits card, as well as getting an opportunity to interview big stars like KSI, or being ringside with guys like Logan Paul, even getting a chance to commentate alongside Jake Paul. The guy made his dreams a reality, and was no longer just talking in his room, but was actually participating in the scene. Now, while on the surface it seemed like Wade was doing a good job, it turns out a lot more was going on behind the scenes. See, as of today, March 20th, 2022, Wade decided to post a video talking about Jake Paul and KSI and their potential fight and the negotiations going on with that fight. Talking about some of the issues, claiming that Jake Paul was having problems with the sanctioning of the bout, whether it would be an exhibition or a pro fight, as well as saying KSI and Logan Paul's pay-per-view numbers weren't too good to begin with. And to cap it all off, he even made a claim saying that Jake Paul and KSI sells less than Jake Paul and Tommy Fury too. Now, Wade was just giving his opinions at the end of the day. He started off as a YouTube boxing commentator, giving his opinions, and that's all he was doing. But it turns out KSI and his team made it a little personal. You see, later on, while Wade would hop on a Twitter space, KSI would go off on Wade on Twitter. KSI, now deleted tweets, started off by saying, "Man, fuck Wade. This Wade guy plays all sides, trying to please everyone. You are so fake. Oh my god. Fuck you and everything you stand for, you two-faced cunt. This man acts like he knows everything about boxing. He doesn't know shit. You're not that guy. Can't believe Sharky let this snake into my box. Fuck off." Now, who the fuck is Sharky? Like, are we just gonna ignore that? But whatever. KSI deleted these tweets and decided to say this: "To you, it's an overreaction, but to me, it's a buildup of a lot of things behind the scenes. You can have a public opinion, but don't come to me on a switch up when you see me in person. Sorry for my outburst, but I'm human. I'm gonna get angry sometimes." The initial hatred towards the tag team boxing that he put out publicly, but privately loved the idea. He literally just says and does what the public wants to hear while privately trying to please everyone. I'm done with it. Be your true self, publicly and privately towards me. Now wait, what is KSI talking about? Now if you guys aren't familiar with Misfits, Misfits recently launched this idea of tag team boxing. We all know tag teams in like WWE. You tag your partner in and they come in the ring. It's the same thing with boxing. And to a lot of people, they had some questions about this, including Wade himself, once again giving his thoughts. But let's hear, what did Wade say about tag team boxing that set KSI off? What was this hatred that Wade Plems had for the idea? On January 28th, 2023, Wade Plems retweets the news and says, I need to know more details, but on the surface of this, if it's true, I don't like it. Wade specifically states he needs to know more details before he makes his opinion and just has some safety questions. But this was just the tip of the iceberg. It's gonna get a whole lot worse because KSI's manager, Mams Taylor, which we could do a whole nother video about how unprofessional this guy is and how he's clamoring on to KSI's career just for some relevancy. He hops on a Twitter space to not have a conversation but clearly just come to interrupt, and first starts off by disputing the Logan Paul and KSI pay-per-view numbers.
First of all, I can guarantee you guys that the Logan KSI 2 fight did fucking a shit ton more than what Wade quoted. I don't know who you heard it from or which person's trying to poo-poo on the success of KSI and Logan 2, but that was one of the biggest pay-per-views in your...
Now in the video, Wade states that the KSI and Logan Paul numbers were around 300 to 400k, which apparently they were expecting a lot more pay-per-views, and this was back in 2019. Mams Taylor and Keemstar absolutely disputes this number and says it was about over 1 million. But Wade sticks to this number and says, hey, I have sources telling me this. But we're gonna have to throw our hands up and say, hey, Mams probably knows more about this number. There's probably no one that we can go to figure out the real numbers that's part of the situation. Oh, wait a minute, we can. Let me try to remember.
Like me and Deji and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, which is $10 million.
The second one was between
on DAZN, yeah.
I don't think it was 2. I thought it was more like 300 to 400,000.
Logan Paul said it himself, the guy that's literally on the poster of the fight. I know Mams wishes he was on that poster, seeing that he's on the poster of all the other Misfits events because he thinks he's a star, but Logan Paul is confirming this number. And let me ask you this, why would Wade lie? Why would Logan lie? I can tell you why Mams would lie, because they're trying to build up this Jake Paul fight. They're trying to make it seem bigger than it is. That's why they're lying. Wade and Logan have no reason to lie. Another dispute that the two had on the live was, as I stated before, if Jake Paul and KSI's fight would be an exhibition or not. Now, Wade said in his video that Jake had some concerns about the sanctioning, seeing that all the Misfits fights are exhibitions. Jake has even said publicly before, talking about Floyd Mayweather, he's only interested in pro bouts. So even without Wade's source, this seems to check out. But just check out this interaction between Wade and Mams, where Mams says that he's lying, but then also literally undermines himself 5 seconds later.
To get sanctioned if they're having trouble doing what the BBVFC is
First of all, that was some bullshit, man. We never put in the contract it would be anything to do with the PBA. So you did in your video. You said that was a concern for Jake. You said there was a concern for Jake. That's inaccurate information. It's inaccurate reporting.
There's not a concern. There was never a concern from Jake's team.
Yes, but
all right, ma'am. So you've literally just confirmed to us that this is a concern, that Jake is concerned about this. Wade never said in his video that this was part of a contract, but maybe you would actually understand that if you didn't go in barging in, making accusations, and actually came in to hear Wade out. But you didn't. You came in because you knew he had the bigger platform. You came in to silence him because you know KSI has bigger fans. You know, at the end of the day, you don't need to do right. You don't need to do the right thing. Misfits, yes, will go on without Wade, but this is extremely unprofessional. I'm not even at the worst part. Mams Taylor literally fires Wade Plems publicly, making a statement out, but also on the live ending it with, good look at Kingpin.
Look at my channel.
Yeah.
Who has built that fight more?
Anyway, have fun on Kingpin, Wade.
So for those of you guys that don't know, Kingpin is another organization, another boxing influencer organization, and basically saying, hey, you're no longer allowed at Misfits, go to another one, which is extremely unprofessional. You're not going to go back and talk to your team about it. You're not going to go back and talk to KSI about it. You're not going to go to the zone to talk about it. You're just making this decision on the fly because he said an opinion at the end of the day. Because let's be real, the thing that they got most pissed at was that Wade said this hot take, which yes, is a hot take, that KSI and Jake Paul sells less than Jake Paul and Tommy Fury 2. And I'm here to say, and maybe I'm going to get some hate, he's correct. He's right. It does sell less. You look at the KSI and Logan Paul numbers, they're nowhere near. And everybody is going to get confused. Look, is KSI and Jake Paul the bigger fight? I will say 1000% that is the bigger fight. But the thing you guys aren't taking into consideration is pay-per-view is very different. Pay-per-view does not necessarily translate well. First of all, which this is a point that Jake has said in an Impulsive podcast that's actually extremely accurate, KSI and Jake Paul have the same pay-per-view draw. Because the people that are watching KSI also are buying Jake Paul pay-per-views to see him lose. At the end of the day, it's influencer boxing. I guarantee you there's a lot of crossover in that, and to be fair, they're selling the same amount, about under 500, but the Tommy Fury fight attracts a much older audience, specifically an audience with money, which a lot of these younger fans do not have. A lot of young people are into the Jake Paul and KSI fight, not too many older people. And let's be real about young people, they're not exactly the pay-per-view buying type. They're usually the type of, oh, let me go look this up and find a stream of it type. Very technology savvy, and that's why the Tommy Fury fight did so well, because you have older people willing to buy a pay-per-view. And look, that is the story so far. That is everything. As of right now, Wade is still fired, which is just crazy to me. And I'm gonna say this right now, look, if Wade is fired and does not come back, I'm not watching another Misfits event. First of all, you already have people that don't even know how to fight. And secondly, this is just so wrong. Wade has done so much for the influencer boxing scene, educating fans about boxing. It is ridiculous to me that they would even do this. My guess is I think this thing will get sorted out because there's so much backlash. And I've given Misfits a lot of credit, and I've even said, hey, that they should go into the pro scene because I love what they're doing. But this would just be it to me, because I just hate the fact that these guys are just abusing their power, abusing their platform, trying to silence a smaller creator. That's just terrible to me. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. Wade to me is a massive inspiration to my channel, and I talked about this in the beginning. When making my channel, one of my thoughts was I wanted to be the Wade concept of the UFC, of MMA, and try to explain things to a casual audience. I took inspiration from a few other YouTubers as well, but he was definitely one of them. So I have tons of respect for Wade. I know at the end of the day, sadly, there isn't going to be a lot done. People are still going to watch Misfits, it's whatever. But seeing someone with a big platform like KSI try to just silence a smaller creator because they don't agree with them, that's just terrible to me. Even Jake Paul, who Wade criticizes all the time on his channel, tweeted defending Wade and saying, hey, Wade has said things that I don't like, but he's giving his opinion and he's keeping it real. Wade keeps it real. This idea that Wade is fake is just false. If it's true, he wouldn't have made the video in the first place, risking his job. It's ridiculous to me, and it shouldn't affect his job. You hired him to commentate, let him commentate on the fights, let him give his opinion, because at the end of the day, he's more of an expert than you moron. Man, this Mom's Taylor guy really gets me pissed off. Like, if you guys want a video on him, let me know. But look, if I were to end it on anything, man, I would say go support Wade, because he's gonna need it, because if he's gonna get his name dragged through the mud by a guy with a bigger name, with a bigger fan base, that are just delusional, gonna suck his meat all day, Wade's gonna need the support. Go watch his channel. Highly suggest it. He's very educated on boxing. Thank you guys for watching. I know this is a longer video. I know this is a video that I don't typically do, but I thought it was important seeing that I could relate. And if someone with a bigger name was trying to silence me, I would feel the same way and feel the same upset, man. I'm sure Wade is upset about the whole situation, so I really feel bad for him. I hope everything gets sorted out. And yeah, fuck Misfits at the end of the day. You know, if they keep doing this, if this is gonna be a thing where they keep them fired and not on the events, then I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching. I don't care. Like, whatever. I've always shown them support. I've always given them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm honestly done. So hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and all that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.